fatal heart impact. Past painful scars, in fact I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet now, get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here. And now, whenever we last left this off, Midoriya, he has just helped his parents with the battle on planet Sadala. The evil Saiyans, they were self-proclaimed Super Saiyans, and they believe that they can overthrow the royal kingdom. Now, after the evil Saiyans were taken down by Midoriya's berserker rage, turning into a great ape, while accidentally activating Ultra Instinct, they were all killed and vanquished. Along with that, Momo did reveal that she is the descendant of a Super Saiyan god. Now, Vados actually did seem a little bit more interested in that. If it is possible for, well, the Super Saiyan god to exist, she would like to see what it can do. And if she's connected to this royal bloodline, she may be able to awaken a god's power. Now, with that being said, we will cut to roughly around 3 to 6 months later, with Midoriya on a planet somewhere in space. Him with his hands closed and folded together, as he is meditating, trying to clear his mind. Now, as he's doing that, there is a psychic battle going on between him and Momo, her trying to accomplish the same feat. These two, with their backs against each other, are fighting within this simple space. And Midoriya does gain the upper hand after being able to block over punches and immediately spin her around, before sending a ki blast directly into her chest and sending her flying away. As she goes smashing to the ground, she breaks her concentration, her lunging forwards and somewhat shouting out in annoyance. Damn it! Are you alright? No. I keep losing. You'll be fine. Besides, this is really all we can do right now. Exactly why? Well, it's because they're telling us to. It doesn't matter if they're telling us to, we should be able to fight. But why do we have to wear these strange outfits? Would you rather be wearing a dirty outfit or dirty clothes? Fair enough. But either way, I just don't really see the point in this. We should be going hand-to-hand combat, not this silly little mind game. Now, Midoriya does stand up, telling Momo that if she does want to go to hand-to-hand combat, just say so. Midoriya bringing his hands up and powering up. Momo actually getting a bit amped up, and doing the same, as she rushes towards Midoriya, who just begins to block her punches, and so they just begin to evade, dodging out of the way easily before he does actually smack her directly in her gut with one fist. Him, then, knocking her up high into the air as she goes up and smashes down to the ground, getting back up and trying to rush back at him. Now, eventually somebody does come to intervene in what they are currently doing. Now, this is a Yardratian, or one of the inhabitants of the planet Yardrat, informing them that they really do need to stop doing that. Right now, physical training is not what they were meant to do. They were supposed to try and build psychic barriers. Sorry. But, you know how it is. Yes. Ever since last month, whenever she was brought here, you have both been growing in power. In fact, you far outmatch us. Yeah. But anyways, you know we're not going to hurt anyone. Yes, that is true. But you do have that innate tenacity for violence. Well, it's sort of instinct. Especially for us Saiyans. Why, young man, you do sound hesitant. As if your heart is not in that word. It's fine. Besides, it's not bad to get up and physically train once in a while. You are correct. But even then, on this planet, we would like to have you restrained from doing so. Momo getting up and voicing her complaints. Simply just treating like this is not helping them. Her planet is still going through the war. And in fact, if any more of those Super Saiyans, as they were proclaimed, do pop up, her species might be in greater trouble. With her mother dead and her father missing an arm, he cannot go into combat. He will eventually lose the rank of king if he does make any rash decisions. Them trying to get her to calm down, and having to explain to her that if your father is a good man and a worthy man, people will follow. However, if he is unable to keep up, then it would not be sad to say that her father would have to stay behind the sidelines. Now, Momo is annoyed, but after a long talk, she's eventually worn down. Her heading back to her room as she herself just begins to physically train. Meanwhile, you do have Midoriya, who just sits back down and begins to meditate, thinking about everything that has happened. First, there was the Saiyans. Coming to the realization and, well, trying to get over what he did on that planet will be hard. In fact, he killed quite a lot of people. They were evil, yes, but there could have been another way. And then there was that one man. The man who he fought. He crushed his arm. He can barely remember that now. But he does remember the enjoyment he felt from it. He's not too sure if that makes him a bad person. But he can feel that power inside of him. The Ozaru. The creature within. He has to be careful now. If he releases that power now, then most likely, things will not get any easier. Now, Midoriya does eventually open his eyes, and hours have passed. It is dark. Midoriya, he doesn't look up towards the sky. He keeps his eyes down and begins to try and make his way around the city, finding the place he is currently staying at, walking in and heading for a shower. As soon as he does go in, shower, and get changed, he slips on a pair of sweats that he does have. One of the few pieces of clothing that they were allowed to get back on Earth. Still quite comfortable, but only really for relaxation. Midoriya having his tail poke through a hole he made in the back, as he actually does fold his tail around his waist. Now, Midoriya, he is actually wondering where his parents are. After he began to train on this planet, roughly around 5 months ago, his parents they began to aid the Saiyans. They wanted to make sure that they can at least try and help out. They are strong warriors. However, Midoriya does know something bad could happen. Now, Midoriya, he does actually go to get some food. After he does sit down and begin to eat, you do have Momo, who has just gotten done with her workouts. Her walking into the room and seeing Midoriya. She does then take a seat and begin to eat alongside him. Midoriya, he actually does turn and look across the table to see Momo. So how'd your training go? I don't want to talk about it. Ah, still annoyed, I see? Yes. I signed up to get stronger and fight, not to meditate. Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time. Still better than, what is it called? Vampa? What is a Vampa? It's a planet. Nothing but indigenous creatures, cold nights, desert storms, and almost death at every turn. Midoriya holding up his right arm, the fur visible, saying, along with creatures that do hide in pits and are huge. So, if she ever does want to actually get some training in, how about heading to that place? There's at least a Sadala ship she can hide out in and spend the night in. It's where he spent his nights. I'm sorry, did you just say a ship from Sadala? Yeah? Interesting. There's not many chances we get to recover lost data. So, this ship might actually be somewhat useful. Do you know exactly the planet's coordinates? Not really, no. Vados took me there when I was 4. 4 years old. On a planet full of creatures trying to kill you. Yeah. Your teacher does seem extreme. Then again, I can't blame her. I've witnessed her firsthand. So, Midoriya says, asking a question about why she doesn't have a tail. Her going on to state that that's none of his business. In fact, if she had a tail, she wouldn't be publicizing it the way Midoriya is. A tail is the weak spot for the Saiyans. And in fact, if he were to expose it, then he's basically giving the enemy a way to take him down and to paralyze him. Huh? What are you talking about? Midoriya says, his tail unfolding around his waist before actually just coming up. Midoriya bringing his hand up and grabbing it. Momo watching as Midoriya just begins to shake it around. It's not about how delicate it is, it's about training it. It's a part of your body all the same. Momo surprised. Okay. She didn't know that was possible. So, when did you find that out? I didn't. My mentor Vados told me. Now, Momo actually does vocalize a bit of anger. What? She didn't tell me about this training? She didn't even start me on it yet. Oh, so you do have a tail. Momo, she does actually get a bit surprised by that. Her then at least saying, yes, she does. Okay. Why do you hide it then? Her then at least having her tail come up over and actually at least be seen by the table. Midoriya seeing her as she does go out to reach out and grab it, stopping before and just saying that the Saiyan tail is an old genetic trait. In fact, most of the Saiyans on planet Sadala have begun to lose it. However, since she is the descendant of the Super Saiyan God, it is believed that her family may never lose the trait. Her father, he lost his tail once, but luckily it was able to grow back. And then there is her mother, who did not possess the trait. In fact, she was seen differently among the royal family. My grandfather did not really approve of her, and it was feared that with her blood I might lose it. In fact, this is the one very thing left of the mighty Saiyan race. Our lineage, our line, and the blood we have spilt. The Ozaru, the mighty form. Or so we thought. There seems to be nothing about the Ozaru written down. All of our data, all of our records, some of them have gone missing. In fact, we believe that the Saiyans that go against us, they want us to one day forget about this intense power-up. And when we do, they would use it against us. They've kept their tails, they've left the planet. And they seek more power. Battle-hungry warlords. And, quite simply, more than that. It seems like one day, whenever it does disappear, Saiyans might even forget it ever existed. And some of our heritage will be lost. That sucks. But I did have another question. You seem to be a bit annoyed whenever we're training. Is it because I'm stronger? Momo, at least staring at Midoriya for a second. Yeah, it's because he's stronger. Okay. How about this? You know that Kaioken thing I can do? What if I were to teach you that? Would you feel better? What is that? It's what I use to boost my power. Think of it like the Ozaru form, but you can control it better. You can either go ×1, ×2. Basically, think of it like a intense power-up. It's how my mom and dad were able to beat the evil Saiyans on your planet. Yeah, your so-called Super Saiyans, they weren't even those. Do you know what they are, though? No. I can't believe I can say I do. However, it does sound similar to the story of our God, our Super Saiyan God. They obtain their power through their own trials and error. Whatever that does mean. They endured, and they used pain. The legendary Super Saiyan is a Saiyan full of hatred, rage, and pure malice. However, their power is said to be unrivaled. And, to be honest, it would be needed. You can quickly change the tides of our war, and help bring the universe a bit closer. Yeah, sadly that's not possible. Think about it. Even if you do end your war, what's gonna happen? Whichever side wins, they're gonna be weak and defenseless, right? Midoriya having a bit of a change of tone, before carrying on with his sentence. And whoever does control this side of the universe or galaxy, they would not care. They would sweep in and try and help out. Besides, he's heard of the Emperor of the Universe. Why do you think he has not intervened? He's waiting for you to destroy each other and integrate the rest of you into his ranks. It's a tactical decision he would make. And the guy is pure evil, isn't he? What good has he done? Now, Midoriya actually does come back into focus. Momo staring at him, before at least saying that he might be right. Yeah. Either ways, I suggest we go to sleep. We got a lot of training tomorrow. Midoriya says, standing up, grabbing a bowl of meat, before at least walking back to his room with it. Now, with that, I do believe that I can leave this part off of here. And I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing night. I will catch you guys in the next part.